What's happening, guys? Silent Mike, Super Training Gym, Mark Bell's Powercast, here to talk about how to increase your bench press. We're going to go over mobility and warm-up, some technique, periodizing, programming, figuring out your plan, and then also accessories to build more muscle and stay safe. Before performing any exercise, you got to make sure you're warm, prepped to do that exercise, going through the full range of motion with proper form, safely without getting hurt. Simple things I do to warm up is grab a band, any band you can, even a cable. You can do face pulls. Great way to warm up your rotator, your rear delt, your traps. Even though you think the bench press is a pec movement, it is your shoulders, back, arms. It's gonna involve everything, so I really like to warm up my back and my scapula, those kind of shoulder blades of yours, because that's what you're gonna be squeezing together to bench. Also pull aparts, grabbing a band again, and you're just squeezing those rear delts and shoulders together. The entire time you're gonna be thinking about your form and technique, which we'll go over later, but you want those shoulders squeezed back and down, chest kind of up, sternum high. Another simple thing is just to do some push-ups. Doing simple set of 10 push-ups or whatever you're capable of doing to get blood into those pushing muscles at a lighter weight than you'll be using on the barbell. It's good to get a little bit of sweat going, a little bit of blood through the muscles rather than just stretching. Stretching I typically say to do on your off days or after your session. Any kind of back work is great. There's a way to kind of front load your workout if you're in an off season or just trying to get generally stronger and bigger, is you can do a lot of the accessory works before you're lifting. So you could do rows, pull downs, a little bit of tricep work, bicep work, and even pec flies. Bodybuilders call it pre-fatigue, but we call it maybe front loading or a longer warm up, just to get extra work in before you hit the bench, which for us powerlifters is our main work. Going into technique, there's a couple things that we really need to focus on. The biggest is keeping our shoulders down and squeezed back at the contraction, like the contraction of a row. We're gonna keep those shoulders tucked the whole time. This is gonna protect our shoulders and also allow us to bench the most weight possible. If your shoulder is not tucked and your elbows are flared, now your elbow is gonna travel further past the midline of your body, causing more stress on your shoulders and pecs. Rather than if I have those shoulders tucked, I also tuck my elbow slightly. Now my elbow is going to travel less distance past my midline, keeping less stress off of those shoulders. Shoulder injuries are very common in all weight sports, weightlifting and powerlifting, but the bench press, when done improperly, can add a lot of pain and stress to that joint and muscle. So scapulas, like the top of a row, a contraction of a row, you're going to squeeze chest up the whole time, so shoulders down and back, sternum high. We're going to press probably to the lower part of your chest. That's going to put our elbows in the most proper position. If you need a degrees, maybe 45 degrees. The second thing we're going to do, that's the most important in my opinion, we're going to try to get our knees lower than our hips. That's going to allow you to be more stable and you're going to flex your legs through the whole bench. People talk about leg drive and all this stuff, and there are some techniques and things that can help you press more weight, but basically we're just trying to find stability. So as you unrack that bar, you're squeezing those shoulders down and back, sternum high. I always suggest to get a spotter. It's going to work the best. Bring it down, fire it back up. I like to give it a little pause because that's what we do in powerlifting. It'll also help along the way. Working on your technique is going to be a huge deal. Basically, it's going to allow you to lift more weight in the long run and also keep you safe for longer, which means more gains, more strength over a long period of time. When it gets down to programming, there's basically two things we need to look at: frequency, volume, and intensity. I guess that's three. Volume means sets times reps times weight, how much work you did in a session. Frequency is how often you do the lift, and then intensity is how close to your 1 rep max you train. So 90% is a high intensity. Doesn't mean I'm screaming at the barbell. That's a different type of intensity. We're talking training here. There's a ton of different ways to train, and a ton of different people have gotten strong doing different things. But what worked for me and works for a lot of people is benching anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week, and then just rotating days between your intensity, volume, and then like a power work. So basically it's just heavy, medium, and light. A light day is anywhere from 60 to 70%, performing fewer reps, more sets, working on technique, speed, and form. Also allows you to deload a little bit. You can't lift heavy all the time, you'll end up getting injured. Another session will be on volume. So sets from maybe 5 to 12, and maybe 1 to 5 sets. Depending on where you are in your training, where you are in your experience, and also where you are close to a meet or not, if you're prepping. If not, 3 to 5 sets of 10 would be a good volume day. The third day would be heavy. Heavy doesn't mean I'm maxing out one. All these days should be fast, smooth, and quick. I'm a big proponent of lifting fast, lifting smooth, and never grinding weights. There is a time to grind weights, but it's not every week. So that third day is heavy, maybe 80 to 90%. Reps are a little bit lower, 1 to 5, and sets are the same, maybe 1 to 5. So you're touching a little bit weight. The frequency is good, 2 to 3 times a week, like I said, because you get more practice with the sport. Using the barbell, practicing your form. There's kind of 2 ways to get stronger, I guess maybe 3. 1 is just to get stronger, recruiting more motor units to lift more weight. 2 is getting your technique better, getting better at the movement. And 3 is putting on mass or muscle. You combine those 3 with a program like this, and you'll get faster the results the fastest. There's kind of 2 categories of accessories in my mind and how I train. 1 is just something you do after the main movement, so we bench with the barbell, and then we would do another type of barbell movement, maybe even 3 type of barbell movements. And then there's accessories more like bodybuilding movements, which are your curls, your extensions, and we'll go through all those. My favorite movements for the bench: close grip bench and slingshot bench after the competition lift. The slingshot bench protects your shoulders, allows you to handle more volume, allows you to handle more weight. You can get more volume in a session without getting torn up or deviating from your form. It also allows you to mentally get over the barriers of 3 place, 4 place, 5 place, wherever you may be in your strength. Close grip, obviously it can work your triceps a little bit more, but it also makes the range of motion of the press longer. Close grip doesn't have to be way in here either. Just closer than your regular competition grip. Makes the range of motion longer, makes you recruit a little bit more muscle, use a little bit less weight. The third barbell movement I'm a big fan of is the overhead press. Some people love it, some people hate it. There's been huge bench pressers like Mark Bell that have gotten very strong without really doing a barbell overhead. But once I started implementing it seriously into my training, it's helped me a lot. It helps you learn how to brace for squat and deadlifts. It also keeps your shoulders healthy by working a little bit more of all of your delts, your medial, than just pounding your front delt over and over and over with the bench press. Going on to secondary movements, stuff like that. The accessories, you start to get to cables and dumbbells. I'm a huge fan of rolling dumbbell extensions, working on those triceps. To get stronger in the bench press, you have to get strong shoulders, strong chest, strong biceps, strong triceps, and strong back. So it's a lot of movements to work. You kind of got to split those up over your days. Sometimes you could do back after your squats or your deadlifts. It's kind of up to you. I do a lot of chin-ups basically every day I train. Biceps, I like hammer curls. Triceps, I like rolling extensions or skull crushers with a barbell or a curl bar. I also do push downs and different things on the cable, different curls on the cable, but if I had to choose, it would be hammer curls and rolling dumbbell extensions. Every session, pretty much before and after, I like to get face pulls involved. I just think it's great for keeping your shoulders healthy, warming up the backside, like I said, which can transfer into your technique and keep your shoulders warm before you get into heavy pressing. Those are just a couple tips on how to increase your bench press. Like I said, there's a million ways to do it. I tried to break it down a little bit simply for you guys. If you like it, please share the video, like that bitch, subscribe to that bitch. I'm out of here. Thanks, guys.